Hello there, welcome back to the channel. We've got some 1v1s from Grenooli and Yoda. I'm just going to go through. I think they're probably shorter games. 1v1s tend to be not too super long. It takes a lot of crazy stuff to happen for them to go long, to be honest. First map here is looking like Wayland, I think. It's the one that's like Cross or Four Lakes or whatever, but there's the big hill in the centre with resources. I'm pretty sure it's Wayland. Some hollows in there, some stuff to definitely fight over and maybe get a good position on, get some extra resources if it did go for a late game. And getting into players, it's Yoda here in the green with the Rebel Alliance. Pretty good draw for a 1v1 to be honest, but then we got Grenooli and the Gungans, and the Gungans are pretty good as well now with their little eco bonus, and you got some shorefish and you got some berries that you can maybe take advantage of. You know, just take across those benefits of foragers and showfishes are 15% faster, carry +5 food, which is a nice little T1 perk for them. Got 4 of these Nunas going into the nursery. Just looking at like the sort of spawns here, it's kind of open at the front here for Yoda's base, but Grenooli I would say has got quite a good opportunity to wall off. When people are not really playing like desert as they used to for 1v1s, it's kind of it's real open what people are actually going to do strategy wise or strategically, because like some of these maps are actually just the kind of a shoe-in for just going T3 and walling off. And definitely the spawn for Grenooli, like you could see, you know, prefab here, a little bit of wall at the front here, wall maybe off the side. You could do there to delay, grab up more of this lake, or you could just go half the lake, and you could even like do some like wall and fishing into T3 thing, which might be interesting to see. But there is paths. Like we do have nurseries down, so we could see you know, mounties as well. You can kind of just you can do like a straight jog to your opponent right now. It's not like a huge distance. So interesting to see what they decide to do here. Grenooli is keeping his workers on food kind of low at the moment. Don't know if he's maybe planning the mounties. He does love the mountie, to be honest, but or could go for that shipyard. I think with like nerfs, and if I was to approach this, I'd maybe go just shipyard into mounties or something like that. Like defensively, and just try to leverage having that economic buff. And then you can maybe translate that into T3 and you could go like triple air base or something like that, or just like a much bigger mech production than your opponent, try and overwhelm them with that extra workers you've got. See if that's not not the best one there though. Grenooli is a bottled the placement of this food processor in my opinion. He hasn't really made a very good attempt to actually scout this, because like here is really nice. Like you can get 3. I'm pretty sure these can be reached in these little bits. And that would be nice. I would put 6 workers here, 2 on each one, and that would be just a huge, nice food bonus for him. Even at least, because he's got the carry rate and the faster speed, like even at this bad angle, it's certainly something. He's been eating a lot of these Nunas actually, to try and keep himself going. I think he's just basically missed his Raptor, which is the big difference here between him and Yoda, because we saw Yoda pick his up a lot sooner. That's an interesting aspect actually for Yoda. Though his base is very open, he could do some sort of wall here. He can mine his Nova from this side and wall out here. You could actually as well wall, because he's sort of got the, you know, he's got the bits in place. You just light wall and close off like this, right? And then he's actually got a lot of space to himself. So on the surface, it looked like a very open front of the base, but definitely a lot of potential there for walling. And we can see the farms going down, which is, you know, where rebels are going to shine with their food bonuses, right? Because what farms carry plus 35 food. The bonus farmers work 10% faster. So nice for them to go into. Probably like the only real civ you would justify, like, oh, just going farms instead of making use of these lakes, right? I don't think it was that uneven, the distance between players in the lakes either. Because sometimes you can get someone spawning like here, like just really in between, and you know, you could have someone maybe spawning like right next to the lake as well. He needs to go to a different fish. It's quite quick to get these low. I wish Grenooli would just put a little bit more effort into scouting the lake. We get a lot more value. He's having to go into the farms as well, so he's closed it out with the prefabs. I don't know why he's... Maybe he wanted to like create a little bit more space for his carbon here, rather than just one prefab. Because if you do go one prefab, you can't just stand in this little spot, right? He is going to mine towards there if he gets rushed. Not really hard though to just move your carbon processor. Horned Toccata. Damn. The Glurgling gonna have to fight for his life. The Glurg. I don't know why I always want to call them Glurglings. Maybe that's what you call them, baby Glurg. But I'm not seeing any shipyards. I think Gungans would be nice, just shorefish into shipyard. Quite strong. Now Yoda played pretty standard. Standard farms, off the way to T2 there. A little bit of carbon banked up. Where are we at? 9 farms with 6 nerfs. Kind of a difference he's got on Grenooli as well, because Grenooli ate a lot of his nerfs, right? He ate 3 of them. He never got that raptor without 300 food. Yoda just a little bit ahead. I don't know if no, bang on, 26 workers. Really lost there. Oh my god, can I click? Yoda just got a little bit more food, but shorefish is like, that's 500 food, sort of surplus, so it's granted him more than the raptor would. But he did have to invest 100 carbon. But then again, Yoda, well yeah, actually, because he already had food processor, so it has cost him 100 carbon. Still getting some food out of it though. And spaceport at the front of the base. Really should be T2 very soon. Or should be already. Maybe spaceport here or something. You're really saying Yoda's invisible. He's only just found him. I think that's the he's searching everywhere. But directly across. Interesting to see him on ore as rebels. Maybe gonna think about Fortress. Jedi Temple. Doing a little bit of a wall into his carbon here. Actually, they mined out that a little bit there. Sure what Yoda's scouted himself. He does see everything. I haven't really seen anything to suggest he's getting rushed. I think one important thing to be doing for each player here is actually to be scouting around these lakes. Because there's a real strong potential that your opponent just builds their infrastructure on one of these lakes. And you could get caught unawares with what they're doing. It would also be important to know if they are fishing there so that you're not falling behind and making some poorly informed decisions about where you stand relative to your opponent economically. Cheeky sentry post there. So both pretty much on the way to T3, just very quiet. Maps like this are kind of interesting to talk about, you know, where it could go, what to consider, what to think about. There's maybe too many markers on this. Kind of neck and neck though, right? Yoda just a little bit ahead. Don't know if there's been any change in worker count, both 29. You see that Yoda's just... The food's the same, but he's kind of just pulled ahead in all these other regards. I think it's probably the difference of that raptor, really. Just because of when it granted him the food, and he didn't have to drop that extra 100 carbon. These workers have brought the food, right, but it's not like the most efficient. There's a lot of walking involved. And that's maybe just what's made up the difference here. There's all that extra ore, nova, etc. and then carbon. fight these guys. Not using the CC. Double air base. I think we'll see the same for Grenooli, given that he's walled himself in. He's facing rebels. Actually, pull a lot of workers to build these. He really wants them early. It's that air production ASAP. Yoda we get house, does he? Watch that. What? Where are you going, son? Hello? Sir? Temple's over here.
Yes, master.
Has Yoda just mistakenly clicked over here or something for the next hollow? Hello? So where are you going? Here, Amy. That'll be a nice differential for you. There's a fortress, gonna cover this ore and this nova. Covers the side of his base and sort of half covers his carbon as well, which will be nice. And another consideration when you're facing rebels and you maybe seen them on ore as well is like, can you really justify going into the mech? And oh, there he goes. He's found his raptor. Absolutely good decision to just still eat it because it's carbon free. It's fast gather rate. It's a nice bit of effort, but 2 workers maybe not the strongest force to take this beast down. Do a bit of garrisoning there. And Grenooli just stacking up all his fighters as I normally see from him. And the thing about here for Yoda is he can actually add in air speeders to his fighters and just have a little bit more air than his opponent, which could be interesting. There's an interesting opportunity with rebels as well if this kind of played into like a longer T3 to use your speeders in your air to maybe kill off mech destroyers and go strike mechs yourself. And Grenooli are going to be the first one to sort of move across, you know, test the waters here, see if you can find an angle to get in and do some damage. Kills that scout off, which is nice, and you can see he's got these 2 extra air speeders, so certainly help in a trade. And Grenooli should feel pressure here in terms of what this matchup is, air civ versus non-air civ, to be keeping this air count low, right? Because if Yoda just gets to play a normal game here, keep his air alive, he can just scale it up really strongly to shields and fast fighter, and then come over and just do a lot of economic damage, right? So it's in Grenooli's best interest to keep this in T3 for a little bit longer so he can scale up his own eco, keep the fighter count low, and then he can maybe just lean on interceptors, you know, without the shields. And it kind of takes, you need to be like further in the game as well to like afford the bat rays or the advanced turrets. And they're going to take a trade here, and there's a bit of a hill here that's just really benefiting Yoda. A couple of workers go down. I think Grenooli should be okay with that a little bit. He killed 2 Nova workers, which slows him down getting to T4, but I would value wiping out this air. Maybe more so than actually getting worker kills. And we'll see both players, double CC. Could be 3rd CCs very soon, I would have thought. But what you might find that some people differentiate on is the eco upgrades that they're getting, because they do cost carbon too. That's something we can definitely take a look at. Only 6 nerfs or so, so stimulants and absolute necessary. Genetics is maybe not so much of a rush. Harvesting program should be a very good one to be picking up though. And of course normal motivator not been picked up yet, which I'm kind of surprised about. And for Grenooli, not picked up his 2nd carbon yet, or his motivator, so I think maybe lagging, and he doesn't have irrigation either. Stimulant is obviously not going to get with 3 nerfs, but I think it's not really a terrible thing to just buy your food here and just get these up so they can pay off for you. You're nowhere near going T4, and you know all this Nova is not really doing you any good when you can't. Not even got production right now. A bit of a food problem at the moment, I would say. A lot over our heads. Gonna sneak around the map again with his fighters. I kind of worry for Grenooli a little bit here, because Yoda's actually really good at just, like, keeping production going. Like, he finds the way, I don't know if he maybe cuts corners on his workers, but I think he definitely prefers to just keep building military units, like fighters. I'd say Grenooli's a little bit the reverse, that he, goes for the workers. I mean, ideally, you just build both, right? But he's coming in here, being bold, getting a few kills for it, which is nice. Doesn't take a trade. He just gets to sneak away after getting a few kills, but limit pathing just cost him a few fighters there, unfortunately. Now he's taking the trade, only half on this. I don't know if that was a patrol or what. Sort of a good shoot back there from Yoda that kind of salvaged that for him, but Grenooli really comes ahead in that trade. But have a quick look, and you can see what I talked about with the workers. He's killed a few, and I think he's making them just a little bit better as well than Yoda. But Yoda has these 2 holocrons now, which are just going to start ticking away and giving him extra Nova, and that really makes T4 like just come that little bit sooner for him. I think maybe in the next 4 minutes we could see him just taking up. And I haven't seen Grenooli really making too many fighters right now, so I worry for his ability to just slow that down. He's only making 1 at the moment. Neither player just getting a shipyard, you know? I think that might have been even better than going for the 3rd CC. It's just power droid, shipyard, both lakes, and just building some trawlers and like 1 or 2 anti-air boats. Like, why not? It's so hard for your opponent to really harass properly as well. Especially when you both open air. I mean, for the price of 1 CC, you basically get 2 shipyards. So this really might feel like better Civ wins for Grenooli with the way that he's playing right now. Because he's just not really doing enough, and it does kind of suck that you've got to do that. That's why we really had mirror civs as a concept in the first place, because, I mean, in terms of 1v1s and the bonuses of vanilla rebels, you know, that farm bonus was just so strong, especially when it equated in the opponent getting to T3 way sooner than you. A lot of times Brat whining at me for we play random civs, and he's like, oh, you're always rebels. You're always rebels, look how quick you get T3. You're 400 foot on me, you know. And when it comes to the case of the air civ versus the non-air civ, it feels like the pressure is on you to do something, right? You might not even need to do anything as the air civ, you just want to sit back and, you know, wait for T4 as your big power spike. And of course rebels as well, having speeders, sort of, it makes you feel like strike mechs are just not feasible. But there's definitely things that could be done, especially around maybe the heavy weapons factory, if you wanted to go for like some big T3 aggression. The only downside to that really is in expanding fronts, the introduction of the attacker. You can maybe like absorb that pressure quite well, go up to T4 and then get your handful of attackers and your shields, and then just wipe away everything that's been built, you know, to try and slow you down there. So we can see Grenooli going back on the map, and it's getting to that time now. It's actually a little bit later than I thought it would be. And I don't know if Yoda's having some ethical feelings in his heart right now, and as they say him go for a troop center. It could just be for the transition after the air though. I don't know if there's a gentleman's agreement here about T4 air or what, but a little bit of a dance there, trading fighters back and forth. But Yoda can definitely click the button soon. You can see he just did some spaceport there. And he's going to start going off to T4 now. Research center up. Actually got a couple of turrets as well. Kind of surprised, but maybe not so with Grenooli and how boisterous he can be on the map with his fighters. So he's got a handful. And we've not really seen Yoda do anything with his fighters. He has just sat back. The troop center is going down. Heavy troop, we're actually going into repeaters, which is a little bit of a trickier one to go off of just there. I would definitely favour mounted troopers, just because of the resource allocation. You know, it's just food nova, and that's kind of what you've built to tech up and make your fighters. And we can see the workers have actually... Yoda's pulled ahead here. So he's got that extra 2 hollows as well, and he looks like he's going to be the first to try... They're going to fight over the centre, at least contest it a little bit. But Grenooli's not feeling it. He keeps taking so many shots moving away. He's just been really unlucky in that regard. And I mean, this one worker... It's not a huge commitment from Yoda, but he's gonna get it anyway, I feel, because Grenooli can absolutely see this happening. What can Grenooli do? So on his way to T4, has his research centre. He's not favouring going batteries, so I think it's going to be a instant click up of advanced turrets, I assume. It's kind of why I like Mounties as well. Because you could just run in here with all your Mounties in your air and use them to kill off the turrets. Kind of beat everything until it's out in bulk as well. Just such easy upgrades. So, Yoda hits T4, Grenooli close behind him, advanced turret instantly queued up there. And we are seeing that repeater. Trooper got his T3 damage. On double war center to catch up. And these can still get online fairly quickly anyway. It's not like impossible to put them out there in lieu of doing Mounties. Certainly synergize very well with it, getting this hill, getting this fortress. I think picking up all this Nova, you could definitely play around Jedi Masters as rebels here. Repeater Trooper, Jedi Master will be very strong in this push. Having this area as well just means like you have such control about where you go with your units. And there's quite a few paths here that you could go and pivot damage into Grenooli's base. And they got a couple of interceptors. Upgraded his fighters, no he hasn't. I would get fast fighter. Surprised he's not doing that. Oh, a couple interceptors and just fast fighter to just add a little bit of threat to some of these areas not entirely covered by these turrets. But I'm not really seeing any transition here for Grenooli. I think that's why his score is really lacking behind Yoda's now. There we go, +2 damage. And still a few like tanky upgrades they can get with their stim packs and the rebel one. And using the fighters to kill off some of the troopers here. And Yoda didn't actually play around the air. Which is just an option that he's had there to actually not do it, right? Because his opponent has to get the advanced turret. There's just no way you don't. So he's kind of calling the bluff there. Where is it? Upper armor, that's it. Could not remember that pack. A lot of workers here plan to maybe build something else, build the shield generator. Grenooli going to feel kind of rushed here because a lot of his economy is actually vulnerable at this part of the base, and these troopers can just walk in. I think there's a real potential for Grenooli to just like make a forward here and like walk in his opponent's base. Doing something similar over here with some heavy weapons factories. I think a fortress was mandatory here. In an air cruiser, to be honest. I think that would have bought him a lot of time. AC, fortress, is some of his interceptors, maybe some turrets to guard the AC. That would give him a lot more breathing room to transition into whatever the hell he wanted to do this game. But it's just been slow all the same, because these would just die in one volley. I think we'd maybe be like 50% of the way to an AC or something if he'd done it a little bit ago. For whatever reason, he's just not making some interceptors, Yoda. Using quite a lot of workers at the moment, these fast fighters. Why are there bombers? Is that a misclick? They could at the very least go start bombing this turret. Turret will go up though. T3 turret. I'm not surprised at the way that Grenooli's kind of just fell over and died here in this game. Not really put a lot of thought into things past getting his anti-air upgrade. I think there's a lot of things Yoda could have done. He could have went Mounties, the same effect. He could have went just Jedi as well after his air, which I think they would all, with the way that Grenooli's played against this, just have amounted to the same thing. Which is him just getting overrun in his base right now. Hard to go straight into strike mechs here without the HP upgrades, heavy upgrade, extra armor, airspeed are getting some good damage here, and Grenooli just gonna call GG. I think Yoda played just very well and consistently there. Grenooli played well up until that point, and then I feel like he kind of just died a little bit too easy. So going to second game here, must be Juan Miguito on the watching. He's resigned. Oh, this one begins with a T. Anab or something, maybe? Not too sure. I remember this was one of the ones that just had like a million straggler trees on it. It's been cleaned up so much now. Could not place a command center. It was infuriating. And Yoda here, he's got Geonosians in the yellow. And then on the other side we got Grenooli here in the teal or the cyan with the Royal Naboo. And again, lots of Nunas going into nursery. It's at 12. Tiny little Autobird chicks. And the big Autobird, the mama there. Two of them. And it is just 12 nerfs, so just eat them, I think, yeah. I don't think it's desirable to drop that extra 100 carbon for them. Especially when you feel like Mounties might be on the cards, right? Just a few noodles for Yoda. 12 again, so 12 for each Wine Cat's guard in the centre. Just letting each other know how many nerfs there is, as we tend to do. Me and Brat would do. Just do that because it's well, I don't really want to win because of some sort of cheap thing like, oh, you've got 16 nerfs and I've got like 8. You know, it feels like a hollow victory. You know, same with missing lures and stuff. I kind of want to play you at your best on the map, right? Forgetting for a little bit there that he was luring. And a lot of workers on carbon there, so this is actually quite a nice like wall off position as well, right up on the edge of the map here. And we're rot maxing. These are the nice berries as well, the 150, extra 25 food on each patch. Plenty of food though, eh? We'd want to see the Geo player definitely just mounty, regardless of how easy it is to hold, because you could just get up to 5 of them. You know, it's a big threat that keep your opponent on their side of the map. Buys you plenty of time. Get up to T2. Even get some opportunities if you keep them alive with some early troopers and your mounties. Take a trade. There's a TC going. Shouldn't have any problems queuing up mounties. All this extra food. Forget as well, 10 nerfs ticking away. It's a ton of food income, really. Grenooli could go for a very fast rush here, I think. because he's done a lot more on carbon, he could get his TC and his power core very easily. He's not going to be too harassable with the Mounties if he closes things off or he gets his TC quickly. So we'll see. We'll see what Yoda can do. Unfortunately, not queued anything up. So maybe he is just going to play like legit T2. I don't really like that for Geonosians. There's our TC. See what I mean? Like, Grenooli could click up. And he's close to getting his power core. Yoda just a little bit behind here. Has he missed something? Oh, his Ourobird chicks are just not as desirable. That's kind of the difference. 100 foot. I think that's what it is. Might a lot more carbon than Grenooli. Really not see his berries? He does. Definitely faster to eat those, so. You're gonna have to climb up a little bit. Well, he's on Nova though. What's the plan? What's actually the plan here? Could maybe Temple. One TC, one Temple. I don't know, just why are we on Nova? Oh, he was actually planning to do like T2 Mounties. Has he like been reading his opponent though? He has not. He's just assuming it. It's kind of bold. He'll be kind of confused about what he's doing. You are invisible. They said that to each other in the last two games. Not very good at finding one another. Yeah. This could be a problem because Grenooli is almost there. Yoda's not really done much walling around his carp. He feels some anxiety about that now. Could be just starting this one a little bit as well. He's gonna have to double turret, I feel. Try and he hasn't closed this unfortunately. He got the Manka cat helping him out, or the Vine cat. Mountie can tank a little bit there. This trooper's not actually abusing their range at the moment, so that's really not bad for Yoda here, considering like he could have lost the game off of that with a bit of micro. At the very least, forced to like lose 3 workers and make 2 turrets or something could have happened. If Grenooli just came in and just followed things and maintained his distance and abused the range, because like that's a range only started now. See how long it could have been without range. And then you just you're camping both the production and you're shooting the workers at the same time. And every time a trooper pops out, just 1 volume. And Grenooli getting all his farms down here. More troopers on the way. We have trooper now. We do have range. A little bit of a hill that Yoda can just sit on top of. He doesn't get impatient and start wandering out. Our sentry posts as well, which is interesting. I actually pulled his workers off of Nova. Must have been when he scouted, because he's realised he's basically just wasting them there, because there's nothing to really use that Nova on. Only mind, what, 57, 20 for a trooper, so what, 77 Nova, I think. I'll probably just check. 87. It's my brain, no work. Power droid's interesting. Can use that to maybe tank in a lower skirmish. The old ways. I wouldn't mind too much as a war center, yeah. For Geos, just because you get that armor for free. Maybe the only civ that I really care about getting it. Otherwise, like, I wouldn't mind just going like 3 TC here. Grenooli's making a dangerous move. He's got his farms down. He's done any upgrades, like irrigation? No. Variants, I've got his carbon. Who's Yoda doing with his carbon? No irrigation, no motivator. We're gonna collide here. More troopers for Yoda though. So would favour Yoda in this patrol. If we patrol, it looks that way as well. Really actually pulling away as well. Play for the best, and fortunately just brings more troopers and he takes trade. He's gonna lose both trades. The reason I kinda like 3TC is like right now, 3TC, after this, you can actually just brute force your opponent here. You can do a lot of damage. You can get a lot of troopers out and make them really climb up, and then you can just run around killing their farms. I just don't feel like War Center, the +1, the armor, the damage really does anything there. In that instance. Same for Grenooli as well. This is kind of like, after a trade like that, it's like, let's stay in T2 for like another 5 minutes, you know, rather than T3. Because Grenooli, if he actually kept his troopers alive, he was flirting with the idea of going T3. Because he got all these farms down. And remember, we got 10 nerfs as well on top of this. So 15 farms, 10 nerfs, like, it's pretty good food income.
I am here to serve.
Spaceport. I think Yoda should just kept the pressure on. And really gotten a lot of troopers together again, and just feeling a little bit impatient, I suppose. It's kind of what you need to be doing. Because this just serves you when you go to T3 as well. Just having all these extra little bits of walls. If it ends up with like strikes on the field, it really shuts them down a bit and gives you advance warning. Even the air, you can see it fly over the foundations or the buildings that you've made. Be a little bit of warning. Often just comes down to positioning, right, with your anti-air troopers. And both getting impatient about the same time, which is going to favour Grenooli right now at the moment, because he can take the hill, he can camp the production, and he can lay into the farms here. But he's being sneaky. Maybe flip a coin when this pays off from him being so sneaky. He's completely seen on the sensor tower, so there's a lot of time for Yoda's actually going to pull back. He's just getting so much vision of this, sees it happening. Off to T3, Grenooli the same, it's just neck and neck. Because not really taking too much economic damage each out of outside of the start at T2. But then Grenooli lost that trade, which has kind of made up for Yoda a little bit. And he's affecting his food production right now, but it's not really amounting to anything because they're both on the way to T3. Like, you don't necessarily need all of this food income in T3. This is a bad trade for Yoda. He can't fan out properly on this side of the flank. And Grenooli just got the better of him at the start of that, and that's just such a dramatic loss. Both have their upgrades. That was more just patrolling in between two buildings that just slow you down, like getting your arc out. I think these troopers were pre-split a little bit as well. And you can just start shooting the farms. Guaranteed damage. Gives him vision as well, so it's like when they both get to T3 now, Grenooli can basically just start sending units to where he wants into the base of Yoda. And Yoda's got to deal with this first and then respond to those units and they come in, and he's just always going to be on the back foot here in T3. And of course losing all these farms is just horrible. Like long term. So what's Grenooli going to do? Strike mech queue, double strike mech, war center upgrades coming through. Is there no air base? I'd like to see air base as well. God, Yoda's getting a bit of relief here. He's walled as one of his strike mechs in, and he's not gone for the airbase so quickly. I don't think he's even on Nova, is he? That's a little bit unfortunate. It's a crappy spot. Wayland Nova's up here. Strike mech will clean that all up. Don't really need to see that. I think Yoda could bounce back here, because Grenooli's just sort of lost his momentum a little bit. He might even be able to just defend with strike mechs here. Lose a couple of workers, but even pull the scout back here. Now they come, 4 now. We saw a second armor for Grenooli rushed quite quickly there, which means he can actually absorb a lot more of this damage from these strike mechs, and he's just focusing down the workers. And set to go for a Mech Destroyer. We could have also seen grenade troopers made. People do tend to forget they've got troop centers after T2. Grenooli maybe just mistiming that a little bit. He's going to dive into the base now. He could have maybe dragged these units away with this group of strikes and then come back in. Here's one now. It's going to have to force another Mech Destroyer, I feel, for Yoda to successfully defend this. But you can see how he's just got to defend, right? These walls are a great idea, if you can get them up. Slow the incoming strikes, but again, you're going to need a Mech Destroyer over here. Losing his Nova workers. And might just get a little bit too much for him here. Strikes are just bleeding through, and he's just going to call GG. He just feels he's falling behind too much. You know, they did have the resources. I think he's just maybe tilted, to be honest. I think he could have definitely got the units out to push this back a little bit sooner, but it can be a bit overwhelming when, you know, you're chasing this and then, oh god, there's this problem now. You know, it's like you're putting out one fire and then there's another fire and it gets overbearing, so. Into final game here. 3 games. Mother load. A lot of food. Look at that. That's just some classic vanilla food right there. I like it. A lot of food, a lot of walling, a lot of T3. Got New Republic for Grenooli and Resistance here for Yoda. So that's good. They're both on an air save, both on Mother load. Wouldn't really have that dynamic that game 1 had. Where you feel that pressure to do something. And what do we got? 4 nerfs. There's a few extras. Nothing in the corners though. And no corner spawn. 6 nerfs. Just groups of 1 out there. And just so many flumps, man. 6 flumps. And the caddies as well. The caddies got buffed in the EF. They used to be 100, they're 140 now. Vanilla maps looking comfy. Not really much to say about Motherload. It's kind of just easier walls most of the time. You kind of got to walk round in a circle rather than walk directly to your opponent as well, which just adds time to your rush. So there's more often than not been favoured to just wall in T3, or just T3. Not even care about walling. I wouldn't mind to see either player go for knights in this kind of matchup. You're air versus air. You're on a map like this where you both know you're going to favour going T3. You know, knights are so good against the air because they just don't really take any. They take like 1 damage from the fighters. So. What's the New Republic bonus again? How am I on that? This isn't gonna work, is it? Common thing is. There we go. So you get this cheaper. Can't limit town. Temples do not. Temple technologies cost 30% less. Do you get it cheaper then? Am I cooked? 250, 250 it says. I don't know. I would have assumed so. You get a little bit off, that's nice. And then your speed upgrade as well. Yeah, 45 minutes. I'm gonna speed up. Because what am I even gonna talk about here in T1? Like, we've been over it all, really, at this point. It's gonna be walls, there's gonna be a lot of lumps munched. Might even see the caddies eaten. Shouldn't really see any farms. Should not be necessary. It's an ethical mother lode as well. Nobody got the god spawn where you can just start fishing. Lazy boy here. Wants the caddies. Don't want to lure the lumps anymore. Rot maxing over here for Grenooli. One more for lump. Easy wall. Easy wall. Easy wall. Truly an easy wall. I thought there was a gap there. Oh, but there is one here. Ooh. Mayhaps it could be leveraged. They're a little bit light on carbon workers, but there's just so much carbon been stockpiled in T1 because there's just not been any expenses really inside your one nursery, your one food processor. That's kind of where that you can start pulling workers off now and again. These kind of starts, just crazy food start. Get away with a lot less. See, I don't think either player are really going to struggle to get the resources to tech up. Maybe just a point. Just have to like food drop a little bit though. 700. Jedi Temple here for Yoda. Jedi Temple here for Grenooli, which is interesting. So both going to be contesting these holocrons. With ooh, Yoda sees 3. What does Grenooli see? Sees 2. And it's 2 out of the 3 that Yoda sees, so interesting to see what they do with these. You get the Padawan out first. Do they go for the furthest away one, which is normally what you would tend to do. Actually deleting his wall here. Yoda may have to delete his wall, but definitely Grenooli out way quicker. And you're going for the furthest one. Kind of tradition to do. Because it just kind of increases your chances of getting both, right? Because then this one's closer to you when you're coming back for the next one. It's maybe the same time to get them, but your opponent could theoretically be here by the time that you come and get the second one. So he might have been where the first one that you took. So that's why you go for the furthest one. You're gonna go for the top ones. Does he see the second one at the top? No. Oh, he's so close to it. At least he is gonna get one. There's one just tucked away here on his side as well. So good chance that we actually see them both get 2 holocrons, I think, if Yoda just keeps scouting. Is there a whole gap in here? I think there is a gap. He's definitely notified Grenooli though. And where are we? We're in T3. Air bases both down, fighters are out. Scout stealing a couple of nerfs here. What happened to...
I've got your back. Channel open.
Where did these come from? I didn't see these. I didn't know it was 8 nerfs. Is it 8 nerfs? 6. But it is 8, so Yoda just a little bit behind there. And that'll be second holocron here for Grenooli. Neither get bonuses on holos though. But they will be nice. help them with the resources they need for their air gameplay and T4 air. I'm not seeing either player just slam down that second temple, you know, build up 3 Padawans, and this is such a good strat against the air. And I think it naturally bleeds the best in for New Republic, for Grenooli here, to have done that, since he gets them cheaper. Both can build masters now as well, since this is the new patch. Where's Yoda going with this guy? Is he just scouting? I think he lost his scout in his base. He could just fly around with one of his fighters though. I think they both should really be doing that. They're both playing kind of passive. They've both got holocrons to be picking up. Grenooli be feeling pretty good though on 2 holos. But he could still be doing that. He's quite lucky, really, to be on 2 holos with how little he's scouted around here. You can see him getting adventurous now. Fighters moving across. Yoda's in his base. He will have a maybe 2 or 3 fighter lead if they take a trade right now. That's a turret up as well. This is interesting. Heavy weapons factory. War center. I wonder if he's going to try and go for like a stealth transport here. Building out pummels. And the nice thing about the stealth transport is, oh, Yoda, has he found this? Dude, you were so close to... Son. In they come. Kills 2 workers. There's 2... Oh, he took some early shots there. Get 2 fighters. Really got away with murder there. We got 2 workers, 2 fighters, and he actually flies 3 away. And he knows he's not getting attacked by these at the moment, but they are going to chase him down. Let's see Yoda just immediately go counter-attack now. I think he really should. Just to distract them from this idea. Fortunately when it pummels just popping out here, just to change his gather point accidentally. Don't know if Grenooli caught that. Where's the text? Sensor cloak. 350 carbon, 250 Nova. A little bit expensive, but I can afford it now. He's getting it. Should see that holo, right? Yeah. Nice for him, another holocron. Padawan's a little bit lost though. And he's just counting it. Just think he should have maybe done this with 1, unless he's going to go and attack the Nova. Which means he can do both, I suppose. Scout the edges and then hit the Nova. So what do we really have going on at home for Grenooli here? Just kind of focusing on his economy a little bit, getting a lot of farms down at the moment. Built a few fighters here and there, but gotta get caught patrol here, just hitting the buildings. Grenooli's worker, not long for this world. Fighting the Rancor here. Rancor about to get some support here. Damn. Second worker was being sent out here, but he needs to be careful. Sitting shooting a building right now. Oh, his patrol's very good though. Then again, not at the end there though. The volley is just not quite right. Grenooli with a fighter lead at the moment. So, oh. Do you not realise he's got this pummel here? Because he's building 5 units. I am forgotten, said the pummel. Transport's out. And it is stealthed. It really has been making these sensor posts here and there. You can't really do that in the centre of the map. And you would just fly straight across, right? Let's have one here. Hoping to maybe just like catch the transport, I guess. So in he comes. Not fully committing though. There could be a big tell though if you see the fighters moving across directly to his base. Because they probably want to come with the transport, right? Can we make a second one? Let's get a second one queued. It's going to be a really big play he goes for here. No mech factory at the moment for Grenooli. I'm really surprised that he scouts this heavy weapons factory, he sees the Civ, and he doesn't maybe think about that. What else could he lean on? He can lean on mounted troopers. Oh, okay. So you can see he's got them hoarded up there in the troop centre. I was hoping to see something like that there. He does have his power core walled in as well. Can hit it, sort of, from the corner there, but... Unless there is a wall there and I can't... I think I should be able to see it though. Is there a wall there? Maybe there is. Yeah, there is. I just can't see it. Got 3 walls selected. Oh wait, no, that's the front. There isn't a wall there. Yeah. So where are we? They're coming across. He sees them now, the sensor post. Not paying attention. Being damaged actually making them walk backwards there. And without his fighters here, the Mounties are just going to kill everything. But where's Grenooli's there? He's caught. He's out in the map. He needs to kill these Mounties immediately. It's dicey. I don't know if Grenooli microed his turret there. His turret's gone though. Oh, I think he's doomed here. This is the real problem about leaning on the Mounties though. They're just kind of squishy. The Mech Destroyer would be doing quite well. The Knights as well would have been an okay hold too. Losing an airbase. Could lose like all his infrastructure really. There's 2A mobiles just shooting away. A lot of workers going down. Yoda's just bamboozled him here. But interesting enough, Grenooli saw it coming. He thought he prepared for it. But unfortunately, he still kind of got caught unawares. I don't know. Is there an out here for Grenooli? I mean, there's still 3 pummels. He tried to punch them to death with his workers. He lost his nursery, rebuilding it. Fighting spirit there, but... Definitely way ahead in workers, though. I mean, maybe. He's ahead in, like, resources gathered and everything. So much food in Nova, he could just go up to T4, but... The workers are going down. It's down to 69 workers. Only 10 ahead. Yoda should maybe go for his temple. It's really expensive for him to get like a new temple, get Padawan out, and yeah, it's a little bit brave workers over there. Second nursery dying. New Mountie popping out though. He's not gonna get this airbase. More pummels have been dropped though. There's his Padawan. He should have been out there fighting. Oh no. Wait, do they only do 1 damage to pummel? What the hell? I did not know that. LOL. Yeah, I'd quit after seeing that. What's this? That's pathetic. I thought the Padawan did more than that. Take it back. He shouldn't be out there fighting. Yeah, pretty good strategy from Yoda. Only really possible with that Civ. You would just feel a lot of anxiety about your transporters getting caught, right? And actually being seen ahead of time too. Gives you that little... You can be kind of clever, right, with your transports. Because even if you do get seen, you can just move out of being detected, right? You're not necessarily going to get chased down and killed off, so... I think that's what, 2-1 to Yoda there out of those 3 games. So GG, well played to both of them, and if you like the content, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel if you want to see more types of games like this. If you want to get involved in these types of games, you can find our GBG Discord server description in the description field down below, link for that. You can find one for the Expanding Fronts mod, which is the mod that we're playing here, which makes the game just a lot better. And if you want to support the channel in another way, maybe buy me a coffee, you can find my PayPal donation link down below in the description field. See you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.